duct tape. Also, used in the construction of servers. Don't really recommend this ever.
That's why we're getting it on tape.
Yeah. This is my unraid server, FrankenServer. It is held together with duct tape, SATA cables, and if I can find some twine. I wouldn't spit on it though, because watering electronics is bad. But I'll see what I can do for some like baling wire.
So is it powered by spite?
Yeah, it's kind of like me, powered by spite. Okay, so what we've got here is the motherboard. It's a S1200 BTS Intel board with an i3 processor, 16 gigs I think it is, of, might be 32, I'll know in just a second, of ECC DDR3 RAM I think. One SATA controller. It will have more. I've got room for more. I just have to flash the firmware on that on my other card to get to recognize the 3 terabyte drives. I've got to boot this up, and here's where it gets funny. Boot it up, clear my unraid config, because I had this set up one way before, power it down and put in 2 4 terabyte drives as my Parity Drives, boot it back up, and then we should hopefully be good to go. So at this point, the way I've got it set, it's got a VGA cable going to a very old Sony monitor over here, 2 networking cables so I can do some bonding and some stuff for Windows Server 2012, R2 Essentials later, the unraid memory stick, a power supply, and another power supply. So the first power supply is powering the motherboard, the 4 SSDs for the cache, and the 2 Parity Drives. The other power supply is going to be powering all the data drives, which there's only 4 3 terabyte drives in there right now. So I'll have 12 terabytes of storage total, 111 gigs of cache storage, because these are redundant. Unraid does them, or recommends doing them redundantly, so I did. The 2 Parity Drives, which would be 4 terabytes each, so that I can then eventually replace these with 4 terabyte drives. And then the bad hard drives I have are all the spacers. And I'd like to say I was joking, but I'm really not. These all have DNU on them, which means do not use. They've all been used in my server before, or I've known they were bad to begin with, and they're just clunkers. This is just a folding metal table I picked up at Goodwill. And yeah, so we're about to fire it up and see what happens.
Don't use that term.
Yeah, I know, I keep using it, it's the wrong term. So the order of power on is the opposite of power off. So first things first, I'm going to engage the data drives. And the way I'm doing that is interesting, because I'm using an old trick I have of shorting the power pins so that the power supply will turn on and supply power to the drives continuously.
He's a madman.
Yeah, just a little bit. And then once it's powered up and I know all the data drives are spinning, we're going to go ahead and power on the primary power supply. I don't have a power button connected to it right now because that was taking up too much room and looking ugly. Go ahead and flash it over there. Grab my phone.
Alright, I'm going to actually sit down.
Don't worry, that beeping's normal, especially since, oh good, it's seeing all 4 of them.
Sorry about the shaky camera, folks.
Oh, I should have to record it with my camera in 4K. So far, boot up is good. Boot up is very good. Alright, so in about 5 seconds, unraid's gonna boot. Alright, so far so good. And it's gonna take it a second to load BZ root. There we go. Alright, so far so good.
Do you want me to keep it focused on that?
Yeah, I just want to see it get to the login screen. Then we can cut it off. Okay. Alright.
that's what I was supposed to be watching for earlier.
What? No, it was earlier than that. There was a thing that said RAID controller and it showed 4 2TB drive or 3TB drives.
Oh, got it.
That was what I needed you to look for because that was going to tell me if it had picked up all 4 of the ones that were there for data. Because that was what you were replacing, was a data drive. And voila! Alright, it's up. So I've got to do some maintenance, but 12 terabytes of storage is pretty much ready to go.
Alright.
Get a desk here. And I say desk, it's literally the shell of an old computer for my much newer Mac. So, okay. Thank you guys.